Well, Colby, I feel like there's a particular 6'7" green monster we're not allowed to talk about. No, not necessarily not allowed to talk about. We're not allowed to enjoy the content that was provided to us. And I'm talking about She-Hulk is finally wrapped up. Now, and again, what has happened here is that She-Hulk to me is a perfectly adequate show.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, this is neat, you know. And it would be one of those shows that I'd look up and it'd be 3:00 on a Thursday. It's like, oh shit, I haven't watched She-Hulk yet. You know, turn it on, and again, you can't step away and make a sandwich during the credits because it's over by the time you get back with your sandwich. But then you go online and you just hear all the vitriol that's coming out of everybody's mouth.
You're not allowed to enjoy this show. You're just you're not allowed to. It's really weird because the Star Wars sequels suck. Okay. But if you like them, great. Like I enjoy them even though they're horrible, Yeah. It's weird. To me, She-Hulk, I liken it to this is gonna be weird. Eating Halloween candy as an adult. Okay. Seriously. Like just stay with me for a second. Okay. You're not going to get a lot out of it. Right. It's not going to be very nourishing or anything like that. You're going to enjoy it for a little bit and you're going to put it back in the pantry. A week later, you're going to open it and be like, oh, that's there. Let's check that out again. And then before you can get too much into it, it's gone, or you got a stomachache. You can't there's so much going on in this show, especially in the finale. That you want to talk about the finale specifically?
No, I was just gonna say, no. To your Halloween candy analogy, it's just like, oh, cool, a Reese's cup. Nobody else is eating it. I'll eat it. Right, in your mouth and chew it up. You don't tell everybody that you ate a Reese's cup.
Yeah, exactly. You just enjoy it.
That was enjoyable. That was a great piece.
That's all it is. It's just meant to be fun. Like sometimes things are just meant to be fun and silly, I don't understand the hate. Vitriol was, you used that word earlier. That's a good word for it. I don't get it. This show wasn't exactly what I thought it was going to be. In the first few episodes, I was like, this isn't what I wanted at all. But I stayed with it and enjoy it for what it is. And it's not S-tier MCU. It's not Endgame or Civil War. I mean, it's fine. I laugh my ass off.
Can we talk about
during a lot of these scenes?
Can we talk about some of the things it isn't? It isn't an attack on men.
No, it's not. I don't like what. I don't. Man,
it isn't.
I don't get it, dude.
Dude, what's really kind of screwed up. You put a dude as the protagonist in this show, and I
was just gonna say
on and off superpowers, and they make a dating profile.
Yeah, I was just gonna say if they made it Hulk and he changes careers to a freaking attorney, people be like, "Oh my god, he's talking to the audience now. He's the new Deadpool."
He's knocking boots. He's promiscuous. Yeah. It's just like we wouldn't have a problem with it, man. I just do not. Again, every time somebody's like, "Oh yeah, they're going to treat every." First off, they don't treat not every dude is in the same category in this. Right. It's like, well, the only stand-up guy was just trying to sleep with her to get her blood or whatever, and I'm like,
he obviously wasn't a stand-up.
He obviously wasn't a stand-up guy.
Come on, dude. I mean, dude.
It's just like, and it's just like they make it a point to where she goes to this self-help group and it's all dudes. They're all dudes admitting that they have faults and maybe they're not like the greatest for society. And she is a part of that group. And I love that scene. It's just like all the scenes that have to do with character development. Yes, there's a whole bunch of shit in there that's like, oh my god, yes. Oh my god, if you want to pick apart a show called She-Hulk that is based on a character that is literally in her own comics ripping through advertisements to get to the end of the story.
When she can't get to the villain's lair, she can't figure out where it is. She just rips through the pages and gets there. And people are looking at this like, this is ridiculous. It's like, what did you expect?
it's been an entire issue and she can't figure out who the bad guy is. And so she'll rip through the pages to figure out who the hell is the bad guy.
What did you think this was gonna be?
Yeah, I want to know what everyone thought a movie or a show called She-Hulk. Now, I completely agree. There are some episodes in here, but this is every MCU movie. This is every MCU show. There are scenes or sections you could just do it out. You don't need them in there. Sure. And I completely agree that yes, the wedding episode is a little and
but they even like make fun of it. Like that's the whole point.
Yes,
right.
That is the point.
That is the whole point. They're like, wait a minute, we just had an action set piece and this is how we're gonna finish the season before the big finale. Wow. Okay.
And then, dude, first off, I love like a little show like this is perfect for introducing a dozen no-named Marvel characters.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
Yeah, I saw so many like comments about how like every guy in the show is a villain. I'm like, there's literally a female villain in the show.
Episode 1.
Episode 1. Yeah, so, I mean, whatever. Like, you don't have to like it. I mean, this could not be your cup of tea. The way she talks to the camera, and dude, I absolutely lost my shit when the Disney Plus menu came up. I was like looking at my remote, like, what in the hell just happened? And then she's talking, going through all like, so good.
Now, see, and now again, that's a point of contention that everybody's like, it just
that worked for me,
dude. Exactly worked for me too. I was just like, is she really? Is like, oh wow,
yeah,
like, oh wow,
yeah.
I was just like, wow, all right.
And the whole Kevin thing.
Oh my god,
they had his little hat, and he was like, the animators have already moved on to another project, so you're gonna have to transition off screen. Wow. Okay. Because there's been so much, hate recently about how Marvel doesn't like do enough time on their CGI, and they were like, all right, that's how it's gonna be. We're just gonna put that. Like, I don't know, man. This finale worked for me. I was just grinning the entire time, and their version of Daredevil is nowhere near as brutal as the one on Netflix, obviously.
Yeah.
But he's like actually Daredevil now. He's flipping around and doing acrobatics and stuff. Like, I want to see him and Spider-Man just do stuff.
To your point, everybody's like, well, he was more brutal. It's just like, you're right. In this one, he did a lot of one-hit KOs.
Yeah.
Which makes him less brutal. If you can punch a guy one time, you don't have to beat the hell out of him to knock him out.
Yeah.
It makes it less brutal. But
this is the MCU. This isn't the Netflix series,
Yeah. And which is, like I said, it was completely fine. I thought Matt Murdock / Daredevil was completely fine for the MCU.
Yeah.
Matt Murdock or Daredevil. However, I'm going to mess this up for you, Cole. I believe, maybe not entirely, but if you go back and you look at Daredevil's helmet, right next to Cap's helmet. I swear to God, it's like
the exact same.
Prop. I think it's a reused prop.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh no! Like I saw like something like some kind of detail was on the helmet. And
well, at least they have like comic precedent for that color scheme. Like that's a costume he wore. It definitely looks better at night. In the daytime, when he showed up at the end, he just kind of like falls down from the sky. He's like, Jim, I'm here to help. It looked a little weird, but it's a freaking Disney Plus show. It's just supposed to be fun, people.
Yeah. Like, if you're one of these guys that praises, WandaVision, but like throw
for
this
being
one
different,
I have no idea. Like and I'll be the first one to admit, WandaVision is not my favorite MCU show. I still think my favorite.
Don't let John Campea hear you say that.
No, I think my favorite is still because it just feels like more MCU-ish than everything else was Falcon and Winter Soldier. That's the one that feels the most MCU.
That's the most even keel. You can see that. You can see that being a movie.
Yeah, and so the rest of them are just like completely fine. But I don't think there's ever
Moon Knight's really good. I love Loki too.
Yeah, there hasn't been a single MCU show that I've come out and been like, oh,
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
Hawkeye. If I had not seen it, I mean, I could do without it, but it was okay. It was enjoyable. Don't love their iteration of Kingpin, but we may see a better version of that later on. We don't know.
Yep.
So,
and I mean, still, I think I think hell, we just recently did a review of Phase 4, and I still think the only mark The only movie I can deal without in the entirety of the MCU is still Multiverse of Madness. I'm just so over that movie.
For me, it's Eternals.
For me, it's
Eternals because of the fact that like there's so much cosmic stuff going on there that affects like the entire planet, and they're just like, meh. You know. So of course, Multiverse of Madness, same way. I mean, same thing. I hear you.
Yeah.
Anyway, look. I mean, look. If you don't like She-Hulk, that's fine. I mean, it's one of those things. Like, don't enjoy it but don't enjoy it because you don't enjoy it. Don't like we had. I mean, dude, we had so many freaking bots, just going crazy because we were talking about the MCU, and I'm just like, what is this? When did people become so like? When did it become, not okay to enjoy things? I don't get it, man. It's like the whole nerd culture thing has come back around again, where like, because like nerds won about 10 years ago.
We did,
and then it just went the other way, and it's like, oh, you're not nerdy enough, and I don't get it, man. I had so many people like not like threaten me or anything, but I just had a lot of people online that were just, how could you like Thor: Love and Thunder? It's garbage. I'm like, okay, cool. You didn't like it. I loved every minute of it.
Yep.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's whatever. But yeah, dude, if I had to put She-Hulk in bracket, I'd put it in C. But there's a lot of great movies in the MCU that are in C tier for me.
Yeah, it's a high C, low B. Maybe.
And I will go, and I already know I'm going to go back and rewatch it because I could rewatch the entire series in like 3 hours.
So that's the only thing. Like, this may be the only series that I think is truly rewatchable.
Because of how fast it is. I mean, it's
not just that, because like it's so lighthearted. Like Moon Knight, that 5th episode with where we finally realized how, like, why he created Steven.
Yeah,
that shit was hard to watch.
Yeah,
Falcon Winter Soldier is, like you said, is just sort of even throughout, but it's not rewatchable, right?
Yeah, the story.
Yeah, this one I could just, because there's so many one-liners, things that you miss, like when the guy that hires her, I think it's the 1st or 2nd episode, like she's sitting across the desk from him, and his assistant comes in, and he's like, oh, that's right, he doesn't like the cold. Go ahead and send him to Alaska or whatever, something like that. And it's just a really quick thing, and then she goes away, and things like that just happen in this show. They're just very quick. And dude, I loved the opening sequence in this when they just shot for shot remade the original Incredible Hulk.
Oh my god,
opening, yes. And people were like, it has nothing to do with the show. Why is it even here? And I'm just like, guys, like, she talks to the camera, okay? She like just deal with it, dude. She goes to the MC Marvel Studios headquarters. I mean, like, if it doesn't work for you, that's fine, but it really worked for me. I really liked especially the finale.
And so, really quick, we're gonna now, let me tell you a little bit about how bullshit the Rotten Tomato score is, right? It's based on a series, right? You go right now and you can check out the Rotten Tomatoes. I checked it today. I think audience
what, She-Hulk?
She-Hulk is like 40%. It's like 39-40%.
Or what? Audience score?
For audience score.
Now, audience 35, average tomato meter, which I guess is critics 87.
So now
let's talk about what that actually means.
Now, what that actually means, that means that about 3.5 out of 10 people clicked no. Opposite.
It doesn't mean it doesn't mean it's a 35% out of 100 as far as quality. It simply means 35 people out of 100 liked it. They recommended it. Is what it means. Do you recommend it, or do you like it? Yes.
Oh, dude. See, that would be my thing. It's just like, how would I not recommend this to somebody?
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's funny, it's lighthearted.
Now, with why that whole statistic is thrown out, people literally, because there are a percentage of people that just hate it, and as soon as you were able to put a vote on there, like, no. And then after the first 10 minutes, first 15, no. You know what I'm saying? It's just, and then because if that meter hasn't moved since the series finale, that just shows you that nobody watched all this fucking show,
right?
And do those votes for Rotten Tomato purposes still fucking count?
I mean, look, I couldn't give two shits about what Rotten Tomatoes says from critics or audience score. Like, oh God, there's so many movies on there that are well, liked by people that I can't stand, and vice versa. And it's like, hey, that's why we do this. Like, they're not for everyone. They're for entertainment purposes. Were you entertained? Cool. I wasn't, or I was, or whatever. It's like, don't make it so personal.
Yeah. I think what is it? I think even I just recently rewatched you and Brian's tier list of all the MCU movies, and Brian brought up the fact number one is like how rewatchable is something that increases his score of a movie is how rewatchable something is, and so it's just like if you're one of these people that you go into She-Hulk expecting and you want Shakespeare, but yet that is taken from you. Of course, you're not going to love it. Like, I came here for Shakespeare. And you mark it a no.
Yeah.
Would not recommend for all my Shakespearean brethren.
Yeah, it's not about not liking it. It's about the fact that people are getting, bullied for liking it. Or they're being called MCU shills or whatever. And it's like, maybe some people just enjoy this.
First off, if Marvel wants to cut me a check to sit here and continue to enjoy 99% of their products, then by all means, you can cut me a check. Again, with the exception, like I don't know, if you would know.
They couldn't pay me to give a positive review for Eternals. Okay,
I would be in a different room. You would know it if I was living in a different room.
You'd have deniability. Like I didn't see him take any money.
I'd be like, I'm fanning myself with $100. Oh yeah, Multiverse of Madness. Perfect.
Fan out. Anyway,
let's end this. We got to end the podcast early. I've got to go for a ride on the rolls. It would be a lot of money.
All right. We've talked about She-Hulk. Look, I mean, go watch it. Enjoy it or don't. I mean, that's all there is to it. That's what this whole thing is about. Or, enjoy things or don't.
Or don't go watch it, and me and Colby are still gonna fucking love it anyway. So whatever.
You don't care. Do what you want.
I don't give a shit. But yeah, don't Jesus Christ to attack anybody over what they enjoy and what they don't enjoy, particularly when it comes to a show or a movie.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.